Hi children. So up to here we discussed about that transversal on intersecting lines, right? So in this class today we are going to discuss about that transversal on parallel lines. Already I told you that transversal cuts that intersecting lines and parallel lines also, and we know that and we learned that if the transversal cuts that intersecting lines, then how many angles will be formed. Okay, and in the same way, what is the classification of that angles, which means angles made by a transversal. Already we learned that, right? So if the transversal cuts that two parallel lines, then what will happen? Okay, see here. So here two lines are taken, those two are parallel, I am saying that. So here N is a transversal. What are those two lines? Here L is parallel to M and N is a transversal. Okay. From the diagram I am writing this one. N is a transversal. So here how many angles will be formed? Just like that intersecting lines only. Here this transversal cuts that these two parallel lines at two distinct points, right? So how many angles will be formed here? Yes, exactly 8 angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is 5, 6, 7, 8. And we know that classification, right? So here the first point is, here L is parallel to M and N is a transversal. Then if each pair of that corresponding angles are equal, when that pair of corresponding angles are equal, if the given lines are parallel. So the first condition is, if the lines are parallel, means if transversal cuts, or if a transversal intersects parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Once see that statement, what is that? If that transversal intersects that two parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Already we know that how many pairs of corresponding angles will be formed here. Here if the transversal cuts that two lines, then 4 pairs of corresponding angles will be formed, right? So here each pair of corresponding angles will be equal when those two angles are equal. If the given lines are parallel, that is the first condition they given here. So once observe this figure, here angle 1 and angle 5. Those two are equal, they are saying. According to this condition, I written here angle 1 is equals to angle 5. Why? Because angle 1 and angle 5, those two are corresponding angles. So once again, corresponding angles means what? Angles should lies same side of a transversal. Okay, it must be lies the same side of a transversal, and one of the angle is exterior, another one is interior. And the most important point is those two angles should be non-adjacent, right? So here by using that conditions here, which two angles are corresponding angles? Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles, and according to this question here already I am saying that here L is parallel to M. Okay, already we know that, and N is a transversal. Then if a transversal intersects parallel lines, then each pair of corresponding angles are equal. That's why I written here angle 1 is equals to angle 5. So what is the proof? So to prove that one, here there is no any other written part to prove that. Just if you take that any color paper, okay, so take that color paper and cut that one by using like this shape. Okay, if you use that color paper, okay, take like that paper, okay, a small piece, okay, trace this angle also by using the same piece of color paper. Okay, so you can observe that here and here also you will get that same angle if you use that same color paper. Okay, a little bit of paper that is which is in the shape of quadrant shape. Okay, if you trace this angle if you trace this angle with that the same paper which one you use it to measure that angle at 1, by using the same paper if you trace this angle, again you will get that same angle. Okay, and in the same way here also, these two angles also you can trace by using the same color paper. Then you can observe that those two angles are equal. When it is possible, if the given lines are parallel, then only each pair of corresponding angles are equal. Okay, here converse also there. What is that converse? Just see that converse statement is there. So what is that converse statement? If each pair of corresponding angles are equal, if each pair of corresponding angles are equal, then the given lines are parallel. Okay, once see that second condition, that is the converse of that given statement. According to this one, just see like this diagram given, and here if they mention that given lines are parallel, then easily we can say that corresponding angles are equal. But diagram is given, but they are not saying that given lines are parallel. Okay, just they are asking that here is that transversal cuts that parallel lines are not. Okay, we have to check that given lines are parallel or not. Okay, at that conditions we can use that corresponding angles condition. Okay, what is that condition? If that corresponding angles, each pair of corresponding angles are equal, then also we can say that given lines are parallel. Okay, why this is possible means if the given lines are parallel, then only corresponding angles are equal. We know that condition. So in a reverse order also we can take, if the corresponding angles are equal, then that given lines are parallel. So both statements also possible here. Okay, converse also true. Is it clear? Okay, just one example, see. For example, here angle 1 is equals to some 60 degrees there. Okay, angle 1 is equals to 60 degrees. So just observe that here this is a linear pair, no? Okay, here these two angles 1 and 2 are adjacent angles, we know that, and 1 and 2 forms here linear pair. Okay, why? Because 1 and 2 having that same common arm, and those two also forms on a straight line. Right? So we can say that angle 1 and angle 2 forms here linear pair. So linear pair means must be sum of those two angles is equals to 180. So already we know that angle 1 is equals to 60 degrees I given, right? Okay, so what is that another angle? This is 180 minus 60, so which is equals to 120 degrees. Is it clear? So angle 1 is equals to 60, angle 2 is equals to 120 degrees, right? Okay. Here we taken that angle 1 is equals to 60. So here angle is equals to 120. Clear now? So here once observe that these two lines are intersecting lines. Which two lines are intersecting lines? L and N are intersecting lines. So if you taken this one is an intersecting point, then we can observe here vertically opposite angles also. At the time of vertically opposite angles topic, I told you that vertically opposite angles are equal. Okay, already we know that condition. That's why here angle 2 is equals to angle 4. Is it clear? So angle 2 is equals to angle 4. So angle 4 is also equals to 120 degrees. Okay, and in the same way, angle 1 and angle 4 also forms here linear pair. Yes or no? Angle 1 and angle 4 also adjacent angles, and those two also formed by the same common arm, that is L. Okay, so we can say that angle 1 plus angle 4 is equals to 180 degrees, no? So in that case also we will get that angle 4 is equals to 120 degrees only. Okay, now come to that angle 3 is equals to 60 degrees. Why? Because angle 1 and angle 3 is equals to those two are vertically opposite angles, and in the same way another condition also we can use, that is angle 2 and angle 3, those two are adjacent angles, and those two forms here linear pair. Okay, so by using that condition also we can say that 120 plus 60 is equals to 180. Okay, linear pair means which forms 180 degrees only, no? Okay, its sum forms 180 degrees, that's why. So we know that 4 angles here. Now what they are saying here? Corresponding angles are equal. Those two are equal or not? Okay, if you trace that these two angles, what I told that those two will become that equal angles only, no? So angle 5 is also equals to 60 degrees. Why? Because angle 1 is equals to angle 5. Okay, according to this condition. Okay, so this is 60 degrees and here 7 is also equals to 60 degrees. Why? Because angle 5 and angle 7, those two are vertically opposite angles. Okay, now here this is 60 and 5 and 8, those two forms here linear pair again, or else angle 4 and angle 8, those two also corresponding angles only, no? Angle 4 and angle 8 also corresponding angles. So angle 4 is equals to angle 8. Why? Because corresponding angles. Okay, so that's why here angle 8 is equals to 120 degrees, and in the same way 6 is also equals to 120 degrees. Now we know that all of that 8 angles also, no? So if that given lines are parallel given means, then we can find that leftover angles. Okay, by using that corresponding angles condition we can find that remaining all. Okay, but here given condition is not given. What is that? L is parallel to M, that condition not given. Okay, but they given that angles. Okay, now is it possible to say that given lines are parallel or not? Yes, obviously we can say that. Why? Because here converse is also satisfying that. Okay, why? Because just observe that here 60 degrees and here 60 degrees. If that corresponding angles are equal, then those two angles forms, those two lines forms here parallel lines only, no? Okay, those two lines become as parallel lines. When it is possible, if that corresponding, each pair of corresponding angles are equal, then we can say that given lines are parallel. Okay, so given statement is true, and in the same way its converse is also true. Okay. Okay, here another condition say that here again diagram is given, and here they are saying that here L is parallel to M and N is a transversal. Already we discussed about that corresponding angles. Now we are going to discuss about that alternate angles, alternate interior angles and alternate exterior angles. So the first point is, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then alternate interior angles okay. So if a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then alternate interior angles are equal. Here each pair of, okay, each pair of alternate interior angles are equal, or alternate exterior angles, which means each pair of alternate exterior angles are equal. Okay, here this is that given statement. What is that? If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, then alternate angles are equal, which means alternate interior angles are equal. And here I am saying that alternate interior angles are equal means all alternate interior angles are not equal. Each pair of alternate interior angles are equal, and in the same way each pair of alternate exterior angles are equal. Okay, when it is possible, if the given lines are parallel, then only this is possible. Okay, one say that here which angles are alternate interior angles? Alternate interior angles. Okay, so what is that first pair here? Angle 3 and angle 5. Yes or no? Actually alternate interior angles means what? Actually alternate angles means what here? Which means two angles or both of the angles lies both sides of a transversal for that corresponding same side. Alternate interior angles, both sides of a transversal. Okay, so here angles lies both sides of a transversal. That is the first point. And the second one is those two angles must be non-adjacent. Okay, that is the common point for that corresponding angles, and in the same way alternate angles also. And come to the third one, if that angles are alternate interior, then the two angles also should lies interior only. Okay, or in another way also we can say, if that angles, both the angles must be lies interior. Okay, must be interior angles, then only we can say those two are alternate interior angles. If that angles are exterior, okay, if the two angles are exterior, then those two angles we can say those two are alternate exterior angles. Okay, so here alternate interior angles, angle 3 and angle 5 is one of the pair, and another pair is angle 4 and angle 6. This is another pair. Okay, we have that alternate interior angles. How many pairs will be formed here? Here this is formed by only two pairs of alternate interior angles will be formed, right? Okay, so here which angles are equal? Alternate angles are equal means angle 3 is equals to angle 5. Okay, next from this one, angle 4 is equals to angle 6. Okay, once observe that. For example, here angle 1 is equals to, they given that 75 degrees. Okay, angle 1 is equals to, for example, they given 75 degrees. Then we need to find that remaining angles. Okay, so here angle 1 is equals to 75. We know that angle 3 also equals to 75. Yes or no? Why? Because angle 1 is equals to angle 3, because those two are vertically opposite angles. Okay, that's why angle 1 is equals to angle 3. Okay, now what about that angle 2 here? Already we know that angle 1 and angle 2, those two forms that a linear pair. So this is 75 degrees, that's why this is 105 degrees. Okay, 105 degrees plus 75 degrees. We will learn about this one deeply in exercise 4. Okay, which means in worksheet 4 we will learn about this one, how to find that angles. We will learn this one deeply in that worksheet 4. Just for concept part only I am saying like this. Okay, just listen. So angle 3 is equals to 75 and here angle 2 is equals to angle 4. Again the condition is a vertically opposite angles condition. Okay, so angle 4 is equals to 105 degrees. Clear? Now according to this one, alternate interior angles are equal. So which angles are alternate interior? Here one of the pair is 3 and 5. So here this is 75 degrees. So angle 5 is also equals to 75 degrees. Why? Because angle 3 and angle 5, those two are alternate interior angles. Okay, that's why those two angles are equal. Here we can observe that corresponding angles condition also. Corresponding angles of 1 and 5 corresponding angles only, no? Okay, so 1 is equals to 75, angle 5 is also equals to 75. So this is satisfying corresponding angles condition as well as alternate interior angles condition also, no? Okay, that one first we need to check that. Okay, so next one, here 4 is equals to 105 degrees. So what about that another one? Here 6 is also equals to 105 degrees only. Why? Because angle 4 and angle 6, those two are alternate interior angles. Is it clear? Now come to that alternate exterior angles. Alternate exterior angles. Okay, which pairs are alternate exterior angles? Angle 1 and angle 7. So angle 1 is equals to angle 7. That is that first pair of alternate exterior angles. Another pair is angle 2 is equals to angle 8. Angle 2 is equals to angle 8. That is that another pair, right? Okay. So here once observe that angle 1 and angle 7, those two are equal, right? So angle 7 is equals to 75 degrees. Okay. Now angle 2 is equals to angle 8. That's why this is equals to 105 degrees. Here also we can observe that corresponding angles pair. Once observe that angle 4 and angle 8, those two are corresponding angles only, no? Angle 4 and angle 8, those two having that same angles or not? Yes, obviously those two are having same angles, no, here? Okay, so once again I am saying that, just to see that condition, if a transversal intersects two parallel lines. If a transversal intersects two parallel lines, here that parallel condition must and should we need to use. If the transversal cuts two lines means we don't know that either those two lines are parallel or intersects. Okay, that's why here that condition must be we need to say. What is that condition? If the transversal cuts two parallel lines, okay, then only alternate interior angles are equal, and in the same way each pair of alternate exterior angles are equal. Okay, now let us see that the proof. Okay.